In this example, we are asked to solve the quadratic inequality 5x squared plus 9x minus 2 is less than 0. And so we'll start by finding the x-intercepts, or zeros, of the corresponding quadratic function. By solving this equation, 5x squared plus 9x minus 2 equals 0, and factoring if possible, we get 5x minus 1 times x plus 2 equals 0, and then set each factor equal to 0 and solve. And so the x-intercepts of this quadratic function are at x equals 1/5 and x equals -2. Next, locate those zeros on a number line, which splits this graph into 3 regions. We're going to just test out a different number in each region in either the original quadratic expression or factored form. So when x is -3, for instance, we get 5 times -3, or -15 minus 1, or -16, so that's a negative number. And then times -3 plus 2, which is -1, another negative number. And when you multiply them together, you get a positive result. So we'll just put a little plus sign in this area of the number line. Next, we'll test x equals -1 using the same method, just plugging it in and seeing what the outcome is, if it's positive or negative. So 5 times -1, which is -5 minus 1, or -6. Times -1 plus 2, or 1. Altogether, that's a negative number, and so I'll put a little minus on the top of this interval. And one more, let's select x equals 1. So 5 times 1, which is 5, minus 1, or 4, times 1 plus 2, which is 3, and when you multiply them together you get a positive result, and so we'll put a plus sign in this area of the graph. And essentially what we're trying to find is when those values in this expression are less than 0 or are negative. So looking back at our number line, locating the region that had negative values, which is between -2 and 1/5.